The fastest way to lose a woman's respect is to show her you're desperate for her approval. If you are ready to stop being an option and start being the priority, hit the like button and subscribe to Prime Logic. Now, let's break down the system. Most men are operating on an outdated software. They believe that if they want something, they must chase it. They think that by being nice, by replying instantly, and by always being available, they will eventually win a woman over. But logic dictates otherwise. In any economic system, value is determined by the intersection of supply and demand. Most men have flooded the market with a massive oversupply of their attention. They like every photo, reply to every story, and wait by their phones like lapdogs. Because their attention is everywhere, its value is zero. High-value men operate on a different frequency. They understand the attention paradox. The less you seek validation, the more you receive it. By strategically withholding your attention, you force a woman to question your market price. You move from being a consumer of her beauty to being an owner of your own time. Today, we are breaking down the 8 logical pillars of the man they cannot ignore. Why are men so addicted to gambling? Because of a psychological principle called intermittent reinforcement. If a slot machine paid out every single time you pulled the lever, you'd get bored in 5 minutes. The addiction is created because you don't know when the win is coming. Most men are vending machines. A woman puts in a hello, and she gets a 20-minute paragraph back. She knows exactly what she's going to get. There is no mystery, and therefore no dopamine. A prime man is the slot machine. You introduce yourself, you create a spark of genuine connection, then you withdraw. You go back to your life. This creates a validation vacuum. When she looks at her phone and doesn't see your name, her internal logic glitches. She starts to wonder, why isn't he validated by me? This isn't a game, it's the reality of a man who actually has a life. Leave the ego inflating to the beta males. Evolutionary biology tells us that women are naturally wired to crave vitality and ambition. This isn't about the money in your bank account today, it's about the direction you are heading. A man who is always available for a text or a date is a man who signals that he has nothing better to do. To a woman, this is a biological red flag. It suggests you have no mission, no territory to protect, and no prime logic in your life. A prime man has sovereign focus. His attention is locked on his health, his career, and his personal empire. When you genuinely prioritized your goals over a pretty face, you aren't faking being busy, you are busy. And that level of focus is the ultimate aphrodisiac because it proves you can lead yourself before you ever try to lead her. Fortune favors the bold, but the bold are rare. Most men today are passive. They wait for the right moment. They hide behind emojis and Instagram DMs. This is the way of the feminine, waiting to be chosen. The masculine way is to decide. You see a woman you want, you approach. You make your intent clear. But here is the prime logic twist. You make the move, and if she isn't receptive, you instantly detach. Passive men get stuck in the friend zone because they are afraid of the risk of rejection. A prime man would rather be rejected today than waste 3 weeks being a texting buddy. By being direct, you signal that you are the architect of your own life. You cannot successfully ignore a woman if you are terrified of being alone. Desperation has a scent, and it is repulsive to high-quality women. Solitude is the forge where a man's character is built. Most men reach for their phones the second they feel a moment of boredom or loneliness. They use women to fill the hole in their own identity. A prime man is a complete system. He enjoys his own company. He can sit in a room alone and be satisfied with his thoughts.
When you don't need a woman to feel whole, you gain a massive psychological advantage, outcome independence. Because you're fine either way, she can sense that you are the one who is actually in control. In any interaction, there is a frame, a psychological lens through which the situation is perceived. When a woman starts an irrational fight, she is testing your frame. She is checking to see if you are a weather vane that spins with every emotional wind, or an anchor. Most men react. They get angry, they argue, they try to logically explain why she's wrong. This is a mistake. Logic dictates that you cannot argue with an emotion. When the storm hits, the prime man stays calm. He ignores the drama. He withdraws his presence until the respect is restored. By refusing to enter her emotional storm, you force her to enter your stoic anchor. Whoever is less reactive has the most power. In social psychology, we value what we invest in. If you do all the driving, all the paying, all the planning, and all the texting, you are the only one investing. Therefore, you are the only one that values the relationship. The goal isn't to impress her. The goal is to create a space where she feels the desire to impress you. Stop acting like a job applicant and start acting like the interviewee. Ask qualifying questions. Don't be afraid of silence. When you allow her to put in the effort, she subconsciously convinces herself that you must be worth it. We don't value what is freely given. We value what we have earned. Never, under any circumstances, cancel your prior commitments for a woman you just met. If you have a gym session, a business meeting, or a dinner with your brothers, that is your prime hierarchy. Canceling your life to accommodate her signals that your world revolves around her beauty. It makes you look weak and starved for attention. A woman finds it deeply attractive when a man has a world of his own that she isn't invited into yet. It makes her want to be upgraded in your hierarchy. Respect your schedule, and she will respect your time. Finally, you must internalize that you are the prize. Regular guys get nervous around beautiful women because they have put them on a pedestal. They see them as superhuman. But look at the prime logic. If you are building your body, sharpening your mind, and securing your finances, you are becoming a rare asset. In the dating market, a high-value man is much rarer than a beautiful woman. When you are strong in all areas of life, it is very hard to be impressed by a pretty face. You carry yourself with a nonchalant edge. You're not in a rush to reply. You're not in a rush to impress. You are the apex of your own ecosystem, and she is simply a guest. The world treats a high-value man differently. It's not about being mean or cold. It's about being self-sovereign. When you stop begging for a seat at her table, you realize you already own the building. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming the modern world. Start applying the logic of scarcity and become the man that everyone else is trying to figure out. If this video gave you the clarity you needed, hit that like button. Comment the word prime below to let me know you're part of the 1% who finished the script. Subscribe to Prime Logic to keep upgrading your system.